You haven't eaten a real meal in days, so how is it possible you're still running to the bathroom? Because that's the part nobody ever explains to us, and is the question that sends so many of us down a rabbit hole trying to figure out what's wrong with our bodies now. Hey, I'm Danny Cade, cancer cachexia survivor since 2015. Welcome to the Sippable Solutions Support Show. We don't talk about this one enough. Good old chronic diarrhea with a side of IBS. Everyone wants to talk about the nausea, loss of appetite, the hair, the big visible stuff, but nobody warns us that diarrhea during cancer isn't always just about treatment, and it's more than an inconvenience, it's a full body event. And the only advice most of us get is to drink more water, as if water is the whole story. It isn't. Here's what's actually happening. If we're on chemo or radiation, those treatments go after the fast dividing cells in our body, and the lining of our gut happens to be some of the fastest dividing tissue we have. So that lining thins out and can't absorb the way it should, and everything just moves right through us. But plenty of us never touch chemo or radiation and still end up living in the bathroom. I was one of them too, because when we're barely eating, if at all, there's nothing solid moving through the gut to help form stool. So what does move through is mostly fluid, and it moves fast. There's actual research on this. It's sometimes called starvation diarrhea, where not eating enough causes the gut lining to thin out and lose its ability to hold on to fluid and nutrients, and our gut bacteria gets thrown out of balance right along with it. Nobody ever said those words to me, not through any of the doctors I sat in front of, and there were a lot of them. However, if this is showing up for you, it's worth bringing up to your care team, especially if it's frequent or severe. While you're getting that conversation on the calendar, here's what we can start doing today. Sip warm fluids instead of cold ones. Our gut tolerates warmth so much better when it's already inflamed. Go small and frequent instead of 3 big meals, a few tablespoons at a time, not a full plate. Also, skip the raw, rough stuff for a while, the salads, the seeds, and lean into the soft cooked, simple foods instead. It's also important to replace more than just water because we're losing sodium and potassium every time we go, not just fluid. And that's the piece almost nobody mentions. Doctors tend to hand us the same two tools, an anti-diarrhea pill and the clear liquid diet, jello, broth, apple juice. And while the pill just holds the door shut without fixing anything underneath, the diet part is actually the bigger problem. Jello offers next to nothing, no real electrolytes, no nutrition, just sugar and gelatin. Apple juice has a touch of potassium, but almost no sodium, which happens to be the electrolyte we're losing the most of. And what sugar it does carry hits a gut that's already inflamed and can't absorb it properly. So it sits there pulling even more water into the intestine, feeding the exact thing we're told to drink to help us stop. For a body already fighting cachexia, running on empty calories and imbalanced electrolytes while losing more through every trip to the bathroom doesn't help. It feeds the very wasting we're trying to survive. Quick FYI, the average doctor gets less than 20 hours of nutrition education in their entire medical degree. So when the advice falls short, it's not that they don't care, it's that nobody trained them for this. So here's what to reach for instead. Skip the apple juice and the jello entirely and go for things that actually hydrate without the sugar load. Diluted broths, coconut water, even plain rice water, gentle on a gut that's already irritated. Pair that with mineral-rich broths, gentle, soluble fiber to help rebuild what's already been lost. And because getting enough protein and calories down through regular food is so hard when our gut is this raw, this is exactly why I leaned on what I call sippable solutions. Gentle enough to sip slowly without asking more from a system that's already overwhelmed. If this sounds like your bathroom life, you're not alone in this. Drop fuel in the comments or grab the free guide from the top of my page. It's in my bio. It walks through exactly what helped me rebuild when my gut had turned against me too. And make sure that you're following me at Sippable Solutions so I can actually see your comments and get back to you too. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.